Thanks for joining me on this beginner, about a 15-minute workout. We have 10 moves that we'll do for approximately 30 seconds. We do them twice and then you're done. And so make sure you get a warm-up in before you start. Make sure your mat's out. You want to have weights that are probably on the lighter end, so anywhere from 5 to possibly up to as heavy as 15 pounds. All right, get ready and join me on the mat. All right, everyone, we're gonna start with alternating reverse lunges. So you can do this with body weight or with weight. Just think nice and tall in your body. You're gonna step that back foot back, drop through that back knee, step up and alternate. So as you're doing this, you really want to think about keeping that front foot at 12 o'clock, keeping that front knee over the ankle, and if your knees allow it, to try to get that 90-degree bend in your back knee. So really keeping your chest lifted, nice and tall in your body, and you should really feel this in your quads and your glutes. All right, last couple ones here. So, all right, last one, nice and tall, and done. All right, now next up is a bent over row. You wanna go with medium weight. You're going to stand with your feet about hip distance apart, hinge from the hips, and we're gonna row up, elbows are tight. So really bracing your core here, squeezing your shoulder blades in that top position for about a second, and really keeping that back nice and flat. You're not rounding, so really keeping chest lifted and shoulders down away from the ears. So really keeping that core braced so you don't feel it in your low back. All right, let's do a couple last ones here. Squeeze shoulders down, and last one, and done. All right, next up, squats. So you can do this body weight, light, medium, or go a little heavier, feet shoulders apart, or lower through our hips, and drive up and squeeze your glutes at the top. So really keeping your chest lifted as you lower in that squat. I always say, keeping that chest up and moving the hips first, not dropping through the knees. And so really thinking like you're sitting back on a toilet, lovely. And so squeezing those glutes. Last one, and done. All right, bicep curls. So again, light to medium weight. Stand with your feet hip distance apart, squeeze your glutes. And you're gonna curl the weights to your shoulders. Inhale as you lower, breathe out as you lift. Keep tension on your glutes so you don't feel this in your low back. And I want you to think about squeezing your bicep muscle at the top. And a nice slow pace. Think 1, 2 up, pause, 1, 2 down. Okay, now down on the floor, bicycle crunch. So we're coming down. Option 1 is to cross over, keep your feet on the ground, elbow to knee. Or you can float your legs out, crossing back and forth. So really lifting up through the shoulder blade here as you do that. Focusing on your breathing. Working obliques here. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Okay, we do that again. So come back up, grab your weights for your reverse lunge, and let's do it again, nice and tall. All right, alternate those feet, and remember you're gonna step back, dropping through that back knee, nice and low to the ground, and just taking your time to stabilize, find your balance before you drop your back knee to the ground. So, good. Take your time. Excellent. All right, last couple ones here. And All right, bench over row, done. All right, so remember going into that nice hinge, shoulders down, and pull. Elbows are tight. So really being mindful here of having some weight over the front. Core engaged. Working back and biceps here. Awesome. Almost done. Just getting that hold at the top of the shoulder blades. Good. Awesome. Done. All right. Back to squats. So, feet shoulder width apart, toes straight, and good squeeze. You can have a slight turn out of your toes if you feel like that feels better to you, or if you're looking at yourself in the mirror because you want your knees to track in line with your toes. And squeeze. Good. Excellent. And then driving up through your heels at the top of the squat as you come up. Good. All right, done. Good. Bicep curls number 2. All right, remember, squeeze your glutes. And, all right, bring the weights to your shoulders and slowly lower. And breathe. Keeping those elbows tight. Nice and controlled. Remember, we don't want to see any swinging of the hips. Any momentum. You want to keep it locked in. Let your strong arms do the work. Yes, remember, stronger every day. And that's why these workouts are so effective. So, building that strength. And done. Awesome. All right, let's come down and bicycle crunch. So, remember, working those obliques. You can do option 1 or option 2. And just really lifting up through your shoulder blade to cross your elbow to knee. Hands behind your head. Just to gently support your neck. Awesome. Good. Almost done. And done. Whew. Awesome. Okay, time for round 2. We'll start with tricep kickbacks. So you want to decrease your weight that you just had from your bicep curls. You're gonna go in that same hinge as the bent over row, arms come up. We're gonna take the weights away from you. So get that slight hold at the top as you fully extend your arms. Nice and controlled. Keeping that core braced and shoulders down away from the ears. So if you find that this is too heavy, you might want to go down in your weight. This is one where we really can feel the back of our arms, which is good. And keeping those wrists nice and stable as well. Awesome. All right, we're going to come down for something probably a little bit heavier, a chest press in a bridge position. So you're going to lay down on the mat. Bum will come up in your bridge position. Arms are a bit slight turn in. Lift your bum. You're going to connect the weights over your chest. So arms are going to briefly come down and touch the floor. Inhale down, breathe out as you lift. So you're really thinking about keeping tension on your glutes. So you should feel your glutes and your hamstrings. And just really controlled with the weights. 1, 2, down, pause, 1, 2, right back up. So you're not hanging out at the bottom of that chest press. Good. Almost done. And I like to bring them down onto my chest. I call that my safety position. And so then you can roll up to come off. And now We're gonna lay on our side. Good old body weight. Think Jane Fonda, out of the 80s. Side lie and abduction. So hips are stacked. You're gonna take your leg away from you, flex your top foot, and working really glutes and outer thigh and hip. So this is a great hip strengthener exercise. And just being controlled with that top lift. You're not trying to break yourself in half. Good. Keeping those hips stacked on top of each other so you're not rolling back. All right, and done. And we'll change sides here. So flip on over, elbow underneath your shoulder for support, and same thing. So flex that top foot. Good. Might feel different on one side than the other. That's okay. And so I use my top hand for a little bit of support. Good. So if these are easy, then you could put a circle band on around your ankles as you build strength. Okay, almost done. Last couple ones here. And then we are going into a plank. So you can do a plank on your knees or plank on your toes. I'm gonna come in on my elbows here. And so elbows underneath your shoulders, brace your core, and breathe. Squeezing your glutes. Nice straight line from crown of head to tailbone. And really bracing your core, keeping everything nice and tight. And you can drop to your knees. Whew. Do little child's pose. And we do that one more time. All right, so back to tricep. So if you now know, you should know how that weight felt. So if that felt too hard, go down in your weight. So you're gonna hinge, arms come up, take the weight straight away from you. Again, wrists are nice and solid. Slight hold at the top. And those arms tucked into your sides. I'm just really not trying to strain through your neck. So you're looking slightly forward, down on the floor in front of you. Good. Almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Excellent. All right, we come back down. Chest press bridge. So again, you should know how that weight felt. All right. Lift up through your bum. Breathe out. And your elbows are below your shoulders, just, you're not in a T shape. If you think about like a top of an arrow, that's how you want to look at the bottom of your chest press. So, breathing. You're just pausing at the bottom for just 1 second or so and then right back up. Awesome. Done. All right. Whew. Good. Those are done. Woohoo. All right. Now, I know I can't help myself. Jane Fonda. Here we go. Elbow underneath your shoulder, top leg straight, and hips stacked. Oh, sorry. Leg stays on the ground. Bottom leg. There we go. We're not in a side plank. I know. Flexing that top foot. You could do that in a side plank. Definitely a more advanced exercise, but I know you should be really feeling your glute, side of leg here. Excellent. Almost done. All right, let's switch sides here. All right, hips are stacked, top hand to support, and good. Elbows underneath your shoulder. If you find that bothers you, you can always place a pillow or blanket underneath your elbow, or even sometimes underneath your hip too. If you find, or roll the mat as well. Sometimes that's an irritation. Good. 3. Last 2. And okay, plank to finish. Let's do it. So, yep, flip on over. All right. And there we go. Lock it in. So, elbows underneath your shoulders. Drawing in your abdominals. Feet about shoulder width apart. And if you need to take breaks, take breaks. Drop to your knees. Give yourself a little breather if you need to. 10 seconds to go. And done. Oh, child's pose. Yes. Oh, way to go. Done. Did it. Thank you for joining me on this beginner workout. And again, just do a quick cool down, a good stretch, drink some water, get your protein in, and I will see you at the next workout.